So on April 15th, I am officially launching my shadow work course. This is the 2.0 because I did it once before and y'all asked me to bring it back. So I decided to bring it back. But I feel like before I even get to just accepting submissions and just allowing people to take the course, I need to fully explain shadow work to you. And I'm going to do it like in a few parts, but I'm going to fully explain to you shadow work from my perspective and how shadow work really, really helped me as an individual. So first things first is when you Google shadow work, right? You want to know what shadow work is. Now, when you Google it, Google says that shadow work is a process of inner alchemy in which you bring those unwanted parts to the surface for purity, to heal, and to integrate into yourself. Your shadow isn't something to be ashamed of or something to hate. It simply points to where you have work to do and where you got to give yourself more love, right? So for me, shadow work is like extreme cleaning. Now, a lot of times when people say they want to heal, they just want to do the surface stuff, the happy stuff, or the stuff that they can basically deal with. They don't want to get too deep. They don't really want to go inside and really do that cleaning and really look at themselves and look at their dark side and their light side. A lot of people just want to deal with the light side, you know, that little petty trauma. It's like, okay, let me just deal with this little thing. But shadow work is like, no, baby, it's deep cleaning. Think about when you detail your car. It's one thing to go to the car wash. It's another thing to get a detail. And that's what shadow work is. It's going in and detailing, getting into those crevices, getting into those parts that you don't really think about when you think about cleaning, or you know it's there, but you really don't want to, you know, stress yourself as far as like, I don't really want to go there. I really don't want to address it. I really don't want to deal with that. That's what shadow work is. Shadow work is coming in and dealing with that shit that you really don't want to deal with, but you need to deal with, because that's where your healing lies. Because if you deal with surface stuff, you're just doing the surface cleaning. When you go get a car wash, having an outside clean is okay, but what about when people get in the car? If it's still nasty in the inside, then it's like your car is still nasty. So shadow work for me is going in and doing that detail clean, really get them crevices and them pieces of yourself that you said, you know what, I don't want to deal with, but shadow work makes you deal with it, because that's where the healing really, really, really comes in at. So for me, a big part of shadow work is really learning to embrace your dark side. Embrace that part of yourself that you are afraid to really address. That part of you, when you look in the mirror, you really don't want to look at, or those situations that happen and you really don't want to address it. It's time for you to really embrace it and say, this is a part of me. You know, those traumas that we have that we try to brush away and act like it didn't happen, but they're still a part of you. They still have to do with what you're dealing with today. So it's like, you can act like it doesn't exist, but it shows up in every single thing you do subconsciously. So it's about embracing your dark side, embracing those situations that happen to you. Not saying that those situations are good or it's okay, but just embracing it and realizing this is a part of me and it's time for me to address it so I can heal properly. Because that's what it's about. It's about healing properly. It's like when you go to the doctor, right? They can give you a prescription. They can say, okay, well, your head hurt. We're just going to give you some Tylenol. But what about really addressing the cause of the headache? And that's what this is about. This is about addressing the cause, not the symptoms, but the actual cause of what is having you deal with these situations. Or you could look at yourself and say, that's why I was, you know, dealing with people this way, or that's why I entered relationships that I did with, or that's why I worked the job that I worked, because you haven't really went in and addressed the cause of the issue. And that's what shadow work is. It makes you, it's not about, oh, I'm gonna just willingly do it. No, it makes you do it. And that's the beauty of shadow work. So I've done plenty of videos on YouTube. I've done videos on TikTok, on Instagram about shadow work, how it helped me. But I'm going to just give you just a little brief about how shadow work really helped me for those who haven't seen it or really need just to hear my story right now. So for me, you know, I grew up only child. I was spoiled. I was privileged. I was fortunate. And so, you know, as I got older, I realized that a lot of the friends that I had were friends that I was helping. I was always giving and giving and giving and giving. And that was because, like, realistically, I felt sorry for those people. And I really felt bad for them from stuff that happened to me as a child. And I was just like, you know, always trying to make people feel good. Always trying to make people get on my level. And I realized that with me having them friends and having friends that were less fortunate and having friends that I felt sorry for because, you know, of whatever type of reason, it was kind of like I was always helping people, which allowed me to get in the profession of public relations, which was the same thing over and over again. Because for me, it was like my grandparents would say, don't play with them people. They dirty. They smell like pee. They poor. And I felt bad for them people, you know, and I'd be like, no, I want to bring them up to me, thinking that if I made them my friend, that they would have the type of lifestyle that I had. They would have all of the toys or have all the opportunities or, you know, have the doors open for them. And I realized as a parent, would I want my child playing with them type of children? No, I wouldn't, you know. And would I want my son to feel sorry because he couldn't play with them children? No, I wouldn't, you know. So for me, I built an exterior of feeling sorry for people. And because of something that happened with my grandparents would say, we don't want you playing with them people. Those people were less fortunate. And it really, really made me start to get into friendships, get into relationships where I felt like I could help people. I was always trying to help people and open up the doors and open up different avenues and do this and do that. And it was like, that wasn't my mission for real, you know, and it really stressed me. Fast forward, a lot of the relationships I got to, I overhelped people. A lot of the friendships that I got into, I was overhelping. I was always giving of myself and not even really pouring back into myself or getting into situations where people were pouring into me. I was always trying to help people because I was that privileged girl on the inside that wanted everybody to be happy, wanted everybody to live my life, wanted everybody to have what was meant for me. But in real life, what's meant for me is meant for me. You know, everybody else has their own story and they have their own blessing, but I was always trying to give my blessings to other people, and that depleted me. It really, really depleted me to where my profession as a publicist depleted me to where I basically, you know, sun myself. I really, you know, would basically dim my light to help other people shine. And so when I start to really, you know, go vegan and get into doing shadow work and really healing myself, I realized that I had been dimming my light for years because I felt sorry for people and I wanted them to have the same light. But realistically, I was giving them my light and I was overshining on them and I was overgiving and I was doing too much. So, you know, shadow work really helped me realize that, in addition to some other things that I'll talk about in other videos. I'm not going to give it all to you, but that was just one instance of what shadow work did. It made me reevaluate my relationships with people, why I was that way, what happened to me as a child as far as things that was taught to me, to, you know, things that was said to me that make me feel sorry for people. And so I had to learn how to pull back and really pour into myself. And I thought to myself, all of that attention and love that I was giving to people, imagine if I had given it to myself. Where would I be if I had given it to myself? And now you see me, I'm pouring into myself. I'm giving to myself. I'm loving on myself. And because I'm loving on myself and I'm giving to myself so much, now I can give to you. But the way that I give to you is by divine order. I'm not trying to give to you to compensate for what I feel you don't have, because that's not my job, right? So anyway, listen, I'm going to do more videos where I talk about shadow work and just the benefits of shadow work. That was just a little lightweight story, but we're going to get heavy with it too, because we all got some stuff that we deal with that's heavy. But that was one of the first things that came to me, was why I was in those relationships, why I was in those friendships, because I felt sorry for people, because I was programmed as a child to think that, you know, the people that were poor were bad people. And I didn't want them to feel like they were a bad person. But realistically, it was more about, my grandparents were saying, if you go outside with a white cloth and you're around people that are soiled, they're going to soil your cloth. So for years, my cloth was soiled because I was feeling sorry for people. And that really wasn't my job, right? So anyway, April 15th. You can actually register now, but April 15th is when it starts. And I'm going to get 2 weeks of hands-on helping you heal. I'm going to be doing more videos like this, like I said, to kind of just be a little bit transparent. So, because that story you might not relate to, but I got a few other stories, because shadow work for me was like a 3-year thing. So I got 3 years of stuff that came out of me that I'm gonna share with you because y'all know I'm transparent and I love to tell y'all the trillness, the truthness, because I am the truth, the light, but most importantly, I'm love. So anyway, make sure y'all register for the shadow work course. If you ready to heal, I'm ready to help you heal, okay? It's $79.99. I'm gonna help you heal. We're gonna get it together. And 2022 is gonna be the year of healing and you being your best self and you figuring out that's why I had this going on. That's why I was accepting this. That's why this was happening. You know, it's time for us to do that deep cleaning. So stay tuned for more. I'm out of here. I'm hungry, so I gotta go eat. Y'all know I'm the vegan foodie and I gotta eat. So I'm about to go eat, but I'm out of here. Peace.